The 2-alarm.
News with Katrina Smith.
Welcome and good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday, January 27th. I'm Katrina Smith. A lot to get to this morning, but first, meteorologist Samantha Wessing is in tracking fog for many of us around the region. Let's head over to the Weather Center. On the hill, it was hard to see through. Is this fog lifting today?
It will lift as the morning continues on. We need to get a little bit more, we're not going to get much in the way of daylight, but we need to get a little more daylight into it for that to clear on up.
Feels like it's been days.
It feels like
doesn't it?
I know on my drive-in, the same way, throughway, up the hill, I was like, can I see? Is this a mist? Like what?
I don't know what this is.
We'll be dealing with the fog for the morning, and then as we continue throughout the day, just cloudy skies for today. Temperatures sitting right there around 33 degrees. We're going to get into the upper 30s, as you can see, across much of the state, starting the day in the 30s. Dry on that Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Today, we're going to talk dry weather for your Saturday. Like I said, foggy start, but quiet weather for Saturday. Then that snow, rain mix, that'll start on Sunday, continuing throughout the whole second half of the weekend. Then a nice quiet weather pattern to follow for the next couple of days. Like I said, today, not much going on here in the Weather Center. Tomorrow, that's a whole nother story. I'll have that full forecast coming up. Back over to you, Katrina.
Thank you so much, Sam. 10 people are displaced.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Quiet weather here in the Mohawk Valley on this Saturday. We're talking foggy start to the morning, cloudy skies continuing throughout the day, and then we got that mixed bag of precipitation that arriving on Sunday. Let's get right to the forecast. I have a lot to get to in a short amount of time. We start the day out with a foggy morning, especially on those hilltops. Still dealing with the fog as we continue into the morning hours. Those will clear up by this afternoon. Cloudy skies, so not much going to be changing throughout the day today. Current conditions sitting at 33. Much of the area beginning a little bit above freezing, right around that freezing mark to start our Saturday morning. Most areas getting into the mid to upper 30s for our high for today. Like I said, not much going on today. As you see, highs right there around 38. So you want to plan your afternoon. We're not talking anything as far as precipitation. Quiet weather for today, and right there, we'll stay well above freezing as we continue even into the evening hours tonight. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Dry here. Satellite, though, look at that cloud coverage. Wall to wall pretty much as we head into the day on Saturday. This is when things are going to change. High pressure, that's what's in control of us today. What we're actually tracking, still down to our southwest, that low pressure system. This is going to track up to the northeast, just swing south of us, but with that, it's going to bring the mix of rain, a little bit of that sleet, freezing rain, as well as some snow. Timing all this, Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. We'll zoom on throughout the day today. As you can see, not much going to change. We'll be seeing cloudy skies the majority of your Saturday, not much in the way of sunshine. Then things changing as we head overnight, starting out as rain. What I'm going to say, this does have the potential to kind of change, something I'm going to keep an eye on as we continue all weekend. Here in the Mohawk Valley, it's going to take a lot longer for this rain actually to switch over to snow. So although we're seeing snow, pretty much this is still going to be rain as it moves on in. So rain is what we're going to be looking at as we continue throughout the morning. A little bit patchy, and then it's going to become more widespread as we continue into the afternoon. Now, with these temperatures being warm, with the ground not being frozen here in the Mohawk Valley, it's going to take a lot longer for this to actually switch over to snow. And when it does, it's going to take a little bit longer for it to actually stick. Now, as we continue throughout your day, as you'll see, trace to 2 inches is what we're seeing for here. A little bit more snow down into the Southern Valley, about 2 to 5. But again, something we're going to be keeping an eye on as we continue throughout the day. It's going to be light, but it's going to be steady as we continue into the evening hours. Probabilities, though, for to see 2 inches or more, that probability more higher down in our Southern Valley. So again, for today, foggy and cloudy. Tonight, we stick with those cloudy skies. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. We're in the 30s as we continue into the weekend, and you can see mild weather as we round out the rest of the week. Really only dealing with that weather for tomorrow. The rest of the week looking fine. How many hours would it take you, Katrina, to watch all 8 Harry Potter films.
Who could do that to
I could
themselves
do
all
that
at
to
once?
myself. I
You
could.
could do that to
I could.
yourself all at once. I don't know. C is usually the answer when you can't remember, when you don't know what it is.
See, I knew you
B.
picked C, so I
Close.
switched it up.
Oh.
No, just kidding.
She's known me for a long time.
That's
19 hours, 39 minutes
Yep.
you could sit in front of a television
Less
for.
than a day, you could do it.
All right, thank you, Sam. Well, the fog we see on the hilltops here didn't stand in the way of movie crews setting up on Genesee Street. We won't say bright and early because that's not the weather in our area today. It's not so bright, but those lights were bright. Little Bird told us the Christmas letter was shooting scenes on Genesee Street, so we turned up to check out what was going on. This is what our camera crews caught this morning. A little more behind the scenes on this later in the broadcast. We're back after this. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for another half hour of News Channel 2 Weekend Today. I'm Katrina Smith. I want to get you right over to the Weather Center with meteorologist Samantha Wessing. That fog for some is going away. It was a little slick in spots this morning.
It was, you said you slipped going up the hill, so hilltops.
Yes, we
places
won't
where
see it everywhere,
We're
though.
right around that freezing market, because we did get that, like with that fog, that light mist, so that's going to make that light
Icy.
glaze on the ground right there. But most areas, no issues traveling for today, especially as we continue into the afternoon. As you can see, we're sitting at 33 degrees right now. We'll get into the mid to upper 30s for our high. And we're going to be sitting at 30s pretty much across the state for today. Cloudy skies, wall-to-wall clouds for your Saturday. We are dry on that Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. And what I'm going to be watching, that foggy start but quiet on Saturday. Snow, rain mix arriving on Sunday, and then a quiet weather pattern to follow that. I have a lot to get to during my full forecast, and I'll have a look at the second half of the weekend. That's all coming up. Back over to you, Katrina.
Thank you, Sam. Congressman Brandon Williams called a news conference.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. As you can see on that tower cam, still a cloudy start to the morning here in Utica. Downtown Utica, though, a little bit different. Not as cloudy. You can see that on the Nexus Center Live downtown Utica camera. Just cloudy skies, and that's what we're going to deal with for Saturday. Temperatures sitting in the low 30s. As we continue throughout the day today, you'll see we'll get up into the mid to upper 30s, but not much changing as we continue throughout your Saturday. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are dry on the radar as we take a look at the satellite. There's that wall-to-wall cloud coverage that we're going to continue to see throughout the majority of the day on Saturday. Things, though, about to change as we head to the second half of the weekend. High pressure in control for today, giving us that dry weather. Down to our south, that low pressure system moving on up to the northeast as we continue throughout the day today. That's what's going to bring that change in our weather for the second half of the weekend. Now, let me time all of this out. As we continue throughout Saturday, you'll notice not much changing throughout the day on Saturday. Cloudy skies as we continue into the evening. By your Sunday morning, rain will begin to arrive. Now, although this is showing it changing to snow by the morning hours, I'm still sticking with rain here in the Mohawk Valley. Higher elevations, they'll have an easier time switching to that snow. But here, we're probably going to stay rain right on into the afternoon, especially with the ground being so warm, the temperatures right around freezing. I'm sticking with that rain. We'll see a little bit of a break in the activity and then more in the way of widespread rain switching to snow by the evening hours. Now, as far as accumulations, like I said, that ground being warm, the warmer temperatures, it's going to take a little while for us to switch to that snow and for that snow to stick. So here in the Mohawk Valley, about a trace to 2 inches. A little bit more, though, down in the Southern Valley. Now, this will be a steady snow, but it will be very light as it continues throughout the day. And again, it moves in by the late morning, afternoon, and continues into the evening. Now, the probability for us to see 2 inches or more here is a lot lower than it is down in our Southern Valley. Again, here, a trace to 2 inches. Now, as we continue throughout the day today, foggy start, cloudy skies throughout the day, highs in the mid to upper 30s. For tonight, we're back down into low 30s, cloudy skies, and then we'll take a look at that 7-day forecast. Like I said, things changing as we head into Sunday. We'll see a little bit of that mix, a little bit of everything for Sunday, something I'm in all weekend, so I'll be keeping an eye on as things are changing and we get closer to tomorrow. Then we have that nice dry stretch as we head into the week, but right there, we're not even going below freezing for our high all week. We're in the mid-30s. Let's take a look. What is that third movie to have won 11 Oscars?
First I thought Titanic because
Katrina,
I've
you gotta
seen
go
it a
with your
million
gut. Go with your gut.
Okay, Slumdog Millionaire.
No, that wasn't your gut.
Oh, Titanic. I love how you coached me through that.
You make me laugh.
The Titanic. Everybody's seen it. Yes, I would. Yeah, I was very confident
You
with that.
were.
You noticed, right? Thank you
were.
so much,
You're
Sam.
welcome.
We'll be back after this.
Forecast tonight at 6 with meteorologist Sam Wessing, our next big weather maker, already setting up tomorrow and into Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. It'll start tomorrow overnight as rain, and then we're going to see that switch over to snow throughout the day on Sunday. But it's still that
Lovely.
like uncertainty
Yep.
where it's, you know, how much snow, where exactly.
Right.
What we've been seeing all winter with those temperatures that we've been having. And as you can see
Yeah.
right now, we are looking at a winter weather advisory down in Otsego County. This begins Sunday morning, continues until Monday morning as they do look to see to get the most snow out of the system that's coming on Sunday. Currently outside right now, we are sitting at 35 degrees. Cloudy skies throughout much of the day. They dominated for our Saturday. And as you can see, those local temperatures around the area sitting in the mid-30s. We're not going to drop off too much as we head overnight, mainly in the 30s. And there's that York Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Not much, like I said, going on for tonight, but that weather about to change as we head into the second half of the weekend. I have a full look at what to expect and the timing of that system coming up in my full forecast. Back over to you, Ben.
Sam, thank you very much. The Oneida County
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. Quiet day today here in central New York. What we're going to be talking about, though, is that system that's arriving for Sunday into the early morning hours on Monday. Let's take a look at that Nexus Center live downtown Utica cam. You can see those cloudy skies as we continue throughout the night tonight. We're sitting at 35 degrees. Temperatures, especially with that cloud cover, not going to be changing much as we head overnight. Most areas in the mid-30s, low 30s by the overnight hours. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are dry on the radar. Switching over to that satellite feed, you can see all that cloud coverage. That's going to continue on into the overnight hours. Now, what's happening? High pressure. That's what was in control of us today. That kept us dry. Kept us cloudy, but it did keep the weather nice throughout the day today. Next system down to our southwest, this low pressure system moving on in. This will arrive overnight tonight, starting out as rain, and then we'll switch over to that snow. Let's time it all out on that Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. As we head overnight, you can see those cloudy skies, that rain arriving during the very early morning hours. Now, I know it shows it switching to snow. Most areas, it will take a longer time for that rain to switch to that snow due to the warmer temperatures that we're still going to be seeing in the morning. Higher elevations, though, that switch will come a little bit quicker. Now, as we head into the afternoon, again, it shows a little bit patchy in the morning hours, still showing a little bit of snow again. I'm going with rain for the morning, especially here in the Mohawk Valley. As we get closer to the afternoon, evening, that's when we begin that switch to snow. A little bit heavier snow rates for the lower southern portion of Oneida County, northern portion of Otsego County, but everyone will see that snow by the overnight hours. Not talking too much as far as accumulation, but still a light, steady snow overnight. As far as amounts go, trace to 2 inches for much of the area. I think our biggest uncertainty area is right below the thruway, so that southern Oneida County portion, northern Otsego County portion. Biggest area of uncertainty right now, but as you can see, not too much in the way of snowfall. Will be steady, will be light. The higher rates for our snowfall again down in our southern valley. And you can see right here the probability of getting 2 inches more down in the southern valley as well as just south of the thruway. So again, for tonight, our lows down in the low 30, cloudy skies. For tomorrow, we're back into the mid to upper 30s, snow and rain for the majority of the day. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast, our biggest activity day coming on Sunday. We dry out, nice long stretch of dry weather for the week ahead, and temperatures staying in the 30s for much of the week. More of News Channel 2 after the break.
forecast.
Of a change in our weather as we head towards the second half of the weekend. We're talking a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow. Let's take a look. We do have that winter weather advisory in effect for Otsego County. That is from 7 a.m. on Sunday until 6 a.m. on Monday. They do look to be, they go get the most amount of snow from this event that we're going to be seeing throughout the day on Sunday. As you can see, those temperatures, though, not changing too much as we continue overnight. Most areas will stay in the low to mid 30s throughout the overnight hours tonight. We're talking the 30s again for your Sunday. There's a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Dry right now. That rain will be making its way throughout the overnight hours. So what I'm going to be watching is that cloudy weather for tonight. Snow, rain, that little bit of a mix arriving throughout the day on Sunday. Then we do have a nice long stretch of quiet weather for the week ahead. Again, a full look at what you can expect for the second half of the weekend. That's coming up in my full forecast. Back over to you, Ben.
Sam, thank you very much. New tonight, the 2020.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Samantha Wessing.
Good evening. Quiet weather we saw tonight. Cloudy skies continuing into the evening and overnight hours for your Saturday. But for Sunday, a big change in the weather. Let's take a look at that Nexus Center live downtown Utica cam. As you can see, quiet out there, cloudy skies for tonight. Temperatures sitting in the mid 30s. And as I said, a big switch in our temperatures as we continue towards the second half of your weekend. Storm Tracker 2, Yorkville Battery live radar, dry right now. As I turn on the satellite, you can see those clouds continuing to move in. Plenty of cloud coverage overnight, just like we saw throughout the day today. But taking a look at this, zooming this back out, high pressure pushing off to the coast. Still what we're watching, that low pressure system down to my southwest. And as you can see, it's starting to inch its way closer. This is what we're going to be seeing move in overnight and then continuing throughout the day on Sunday, bringing us a little bit of that mixed precipitation throughout the majority of the day. Let's time all of this out. As you can see, heading overnight, starts out as rain, shows it switching over as snow. Again, I'm going to stress that most of this will fall as rain. Higher elevations, they'll switch over to snow a lot faster. Here in the Mohawk Valley, it'll take a little bit longer for that to happen. Most of this will probably rain as we continue throughout the morning into the afternoon. Gets a little bit patchy here and there. The more widespread activity comes during the afternoon into the evening, and that will switch to snow as we get into later on in the evening. Like I said, higher elevations, that will accumulate a little bit faster. Here in the Mohawk Valley, it'll take a lot longer with those warmer temperatures, warmer ground, for anything to really stick as we continue throughout the day. And as you can see, by nighttime, the snow will begin to slowly leave, and we do dry out by the morning on Monday. As far as snowfall forecast goes, the majority of the area seeing a trace to 2 inches. Lucky if we'll see that much, especially with how warm it's going to be. The ground's been warm, but not much is going to stick. I think my biggest area of question is the southern region of Oneida County, northern portion of Otsego County. That's where we might actually see just a little bit more snow than that trace to 2 inches. So something I'm going to keep an eye on as we head towards the next day and continuing on throughout Sunday. Again, this is going to be steady, but this is going to be light throughout the day on Sunday. And as you can see, the biggest probability to at least get 2 inches down in Otsego County. And then there's my questionable area, the southern portion of Oneida County. So again, something I'm going to look for as we continue on for Sunday morning. Tonight we're down into the 30s, cloudy. Tomorrow that rain and snow, 37 for our high. And then there it is. Sunday we'll have that mixed activity quieting down for the next couple of days and sticking in the mid 30s all week. More of News Channel 2 after the break.